Alright, in this video we're going to go over battle commands, and so you can put event commands in a battle. So here we are at the Demon Castle, and remember we placed Ernie in this castle, and so I'm going to show you how to add events to that. You're going to go to your database, find troops. I'm going to click on Ernie here, and then you see this battle event page down here. And then under conditions, these are the conditions, so it's almost like running a conditional branch at the beginning of a battle or at the end of each turn. So the condition right now says don't run. So if you don't run, it'll run this first and foremost. Maybe on turn 1, I want Ernie to say something. Show text. Do I have any monster faces to depict him? Yeah, let's use one of these. Your time has come. Alright. Looks good. Show text, and then it's going to be main character. Let us out of here now. Okay, so that's the first one. I can then switch to self switch A, new event page. Actually, I don't even need the self switch. Instead, we'll go conditions, and if his HP, right, his life, is 50% or below, he is going to do something. So that's the condition. And so his condition will basically be change HP, fixed, let's decrease by, like, he's going to attack you and do something by that much. So that's one thing that you could do. You could have him keep talking and say things. You can actually have him transform, where he can transform into someone completely different. And so let's see. So enemy appear, enemy transform. So I can have enemy Ernie transform into a bat and basically say something else and fly away. And so it'll give you a span. I want this to be for the battle, I want this to be for the turn, what do you want? Alright, so let's just see if, and I don't think this second one will even work because we set his health to be so low that I think he's a one-hit kill anyways, but let's just see if the first one works. I'll clear that one. Okay. So there's alright, so it worked perfectly. So if we go back in the database, I'll show you the other options. So you can add all kinds of conversations. If you want him to do something when his HP, so you can have him heal himself. Whenever I make bosses, I always make them heal themselves when they get below 20%. It's really annoying. It's not a full heal, it just adds X amount, and that way, you know, it makes it longer, makes the battle longer, makes it more difficult. And then if you want to do something and make sure that it's done at the end of the turn rather than at the beginning, click that. You you can have enemies do different things based on whether or not switches are activated. So if there are side bosses or other smaller characters that relate to this one, maybe killing one of them turned on a switch, and then if you did, you could have the switch, basically trigger a different conversation saying, I know you killed my brother or family or whatever, and then have him cast a different spell based on that. So there's a few things that you can do. So you can change his HP, right? How much magic points power he has. If you're having TP in your game, his enemy state. So if you want to remove or add a state, if he's poisoned or blind or silenced or raged or whatever, you can do that. Enemy appear, if you want enemy to appear in certain places. So there's a lot of things that you can do, and a lot of that's based on what's the condition. So if my health gets below 50%, I want him to do or say this. If the enemies gets below, and you can throw in multiple ones too. Maybe I want on the 5th turn him to do this. So go and play around with those and create, at the very least for your bosses, I would create some text dialogue so that you can understand that they're a boss and that it's a big deal, and it makes it more interesting. And then another thing that I'll do is when the character's health gets below 10%, I'll have it trigger my boss saying something like, no, I can't believe I'm about to be defeated, and that lets the people know that, hey, we're pretty close to finally beating him, just keep going. So go play around with those and figure out cool things that you can add to your game.